I answered a Craigslist ad and was like, oh, all right, well, I got to make a couple $100.
What was the ad for?
Girls doing a video. And I showed up. I'm like, what is it? He's like, oh, it's a job video. I'm like, all right, I haven't given a lot of those, so let's give it a try.
Really?
I don't care.
Oh my God, I
It's
gotta put
weird
some ads up.
Two goons, not one but two goons. Two goons, 7 hours in the bathroom.
I'm Nicole Aniston, and you're watching Two Goons.
But you were talking a lot about like cosmic stuff. You're quite a spiritual, UFOs. You like the what's the word for it? Not extraterrestrial, but like extra normal type things, right?
I like extra perceptual, extra sensory type things.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me.
Yeah. Have you ever seen an alien or like a UFO or anything?
Yeah.
You
You
have?
have?
Well, where would
Whoa.
you see it? Give us some deets on the
Like
on the
abducted?
spooky.
Were you abducted? Whoa.
I had my first encounter at 6.
What?
Wow.
Yeah. And I've had a few subsequent interactions.
Yeah, yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Are you comfortable talking
Sure,
about it? Yeah.
yeah,
give us the
sure.
full deets.
This is
Are we?
great.
Is this okay?
We're cooking.
We're cooking. We
dude.
natural.
So at 6, I had my first experience, and it was very, kind of trying to explain to the very nonchalant adults, but knowing and very understanding. Like, I know that I don't have the language to explain what I just experienced or how long I was gone for, but the perception is that there was a little bit of a time loss, perhaps. And so the next was I had a couple encounters in Sedona about 6 years ago, and I'll leave out a few of those details because they're still on the fringe of what I may be approaching, maybe some involvements in the near future. So.
Okay.
But I've had a bunch of interesting encounters. I have a lot of pictures and videos.
So of seeing things or
Yeah.
being involved in it?
Of seeing the craft and things like that.
Wow.
So yeah, I've just kind of, now at this point, I've taken it as a grain of salt because if I meditate and I'm in the right place in the right mind frame, they show up.
Oh, really? You can like
Really?
summon them almost.
Well, I mean, I think it's a sharing of a common interest
Yeah,
between off-planet entities and myself.
Well-
we can kind of link that way because
Yeah.
consciousness is non-local.
yeah.
Right, and they say that about meditation. Like, so I meditate, but I do like 10 minutes. But they say some people, they'll meditate for hours upon hours, and they get to places. Like I've heard Jack Cornfield talk about this, and Ram Dass talk about this, that you can get to places that like are out of body almost.
Incredible realms of very visceral awareness. Where
Really?
you feel very personally and intimately involved with other awarenesses. Yeah.
And what happens? Do you speak, or is it like, do you go
You
places?
can, but I mean, you're not using your mouth, so you're using, I guess, the etheric field or whatever it is to communicate.
That's wild.
And when you tell, yeah, it is crazy.
Yeah.
And when you tell, like, not crazy, is it? But in terms of like when telling people this, they must think, how do you deal with like, because a lot of people that will hear this, like, yo, that bitch is crazy.
Yeah, well, I'm already a porn star, so I've already chosen to be a societal pariah. I'm not really
Yeah.
worried about perception anymore.
I do get the whole like when you're a young kid and you don't know how to explain words and tell people, because I remember when I was a young kid, I once saw a guy wearing like bike shorts and I could see his bulge and I knew that was weird, but I didn't know what the words
and
were.
why it made you uncomfortable a little bit, like, oh,
like
why
a
don't you
grown
put some
man
frickin'
wearing
underwear
bike
on,
shorts.
buddy?
Yeah, like in a that's
There
what a
is
weird.
that
Yeah.
feeling of when you're a child and you're like, oh, I don't know why that feels a little weird, but
Yeah.
that's weird, and I don't know really who to tell.
So do you want? Did you have any encounter that was like that you want to talk about? That was like.
I've had a couple interesting encounters with. So, when I got back from Sedona, and this is becoming a pretty popular topic, and
Sedona's a magical place, by the way.
Sedona's very
Yeah,
fascinating.
it's in northern Arizona.
No.
It's worth a trip.
Okay,
Yeah, it's where
Very
people
worth a trip,
go
yeah.
when in the summertime, especially because it gets really hot in like Phoenix and town.
Oh, and you go like up in the mountains.
Yeah,
You're up a little ways. You're a little elevated, and honestly, even during the fall, it's really pleasant. Very
and it's
temperate.
beautiful, like reddish mountains, right? Like-
Stunning.
yeah.
The local demographic's really awesome. There's a lot of good hiking. Red Rocks are stunning. It's a really immersive place.
Right, the Red Rocks, right,
Yeah.
right.
So when I got back from when I got back from Sedona, and I haven't said this publicly, but I might as well share it here.
Breaking news.
Yeah, breaking news.
You break news on
The Two Goons podcast.
podcast where guys, yeah.
So when I got back from Sedona, a month before I went to Sedona, I had my then larger, very large breast implants removed. Mm-hmm. And I went to Sedona. I was there for about 5 days, not very long. Had 2 UFO encounters, very interesting. And then when I got back, a few weeks later, I noticed something interesting in my breast. And I was concerned, of course, because, you don't know what is that? You're told through allopathic narrative that this is going to be something you need to worry about as a woman. I wasn't particularly worried because I knew the state of my body was in fine standing. So I went and had a ultrasound, and they said, this is really weird. We need to remove it. It looks like a lipoma. And that's what I thought it was. So they do local anesthetic. I'm sitting there, guys cutting into me. A dermatologist who now is nowhere to be found. I don't know where this guy went. I tried to go back to him, and he's gone. So he took him some grunting and some some odd sounds to try to get this thing removed, and finally gets it removed and puts it in a little glass jar and says, do you want to see what this is? This is no lipoma I've ever seen. So he ding, 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 and it's metallic. So interesting. Okay, well, do you want to send it to pathology to see what it is? And I said, yeah, definitely. I want to make sure I'm all right.
Yeah.
Number one, or what this...
We're growing metal in my
What
boobs.
is this object?
Yeah.
This is very strange. So about 6.5 weeks later, I got a letter in the mail that said it's a foreign object of unknown material, and we're keeping it.
What?
So
Who sent this letter? Who sent this letter?
the lab.
Okay.
The lab, dude.
Wow.
So
The Men in
check
Black came and confiscated your boob metal.
Here it comes. So, about 2 months later, I'm going like this, and I feel something else.
Yeah.
So, at this time, I'm getting really intense meditations and really weird chunks of information kind of dropped in. I'm getting followed by loaded down Apache helicopters when I go hiking. So they put it back, or something put it back. So I go back in, because I was thinking at this point, I was like, gosh, this is so weird. This is such an odd, it's a like isosceles triangle shaped, very hard object just under the skin.
Yeah.
And the first time, they wouldn't give me any information on it. They wouldn't tell me what it was. I tried to find out, tried to track it down.
They wouldn't even tell you, are you sick or in danger? You need,
nothing.
medication.
Foreign object of unknown material, we're keeping it. So it's back. The same exact place, same exact shape. The object has returned and is currently in my body.
And you're
Right
just,
now.
And
Right now.
And are you just you're like, well, we're just going to leave
It's
it this
not
time?
harming me.
Yeah.
So I did have a follow-up sonogram because, allopathy wants to think there's something wrong and wants to follow the breadcrumb trail so that they can make money off of patients.
Yeah, of
So
course.
they
Yeah.
keep People.
The medical industrial complex, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a ever steady flowing machine.
Yeah.
I have a couple questions about the story. One, how big were the puppies that you got removed?
They were pods.
Yeah.
So it was it's the same exact shape and size.
Oh no, I meant the tits that you.
You meant the breast implants.
So I had
Your
big
breast
ones.
reduction.
I had 425. They were too big.
CCs?
Yeah, for my frame, I was getting a little more tone. They were looking a little comical.
Did you do one time when you had it, or multiple times?
Well, I had the 425s, and I said, "Doctor, I want to go down smaller." He put in his own judgment call. I woke up with this hilariously shaped breast implant.
Really?
Very high-end profile.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be boobs first to the world.
Okay.
Right,
So I
right.
said, these are not healing. 9 months after I put them in, I said, let's just take them out and give me some time.
Yeah.
So I went without breast implants for about 5 years.
Yeah. And then you're like, that's the way to go.
And I was
Yeah.
great. Now I have 195.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Comfy, suits
Yeah,
my
some
shape.
little guys. Yeah, right on.
I can still run and
Yeah.
jump,
Yeah, yeah.
so that's nice.
It's wild when you're talking about the communication aspect of
Yeah.
the meditation. I did ayahuasca I don't know, it was about 6 months ago now, and I did 3 nights of it. And before the last night, there was a guy there who was a psychologist who works with people, but also works with the medicine. He was prescribing meds and stuff before, and he's like, "This isn't working." working. So I'm going to try the medicine. And he's been doing that for about 10 years.
Yeah.
And he taught me this meditation technique of like moving your vision to the back of your head and like taking your tongue off the roof of your mouth. Mm-hmm. And I was like, we were doing that. And after the session, I was like, should I do that when I take the ayahuasca? Because I've just kind of been letting it wash over me and take complete control. He's like, no. Like, we talk about having dominance over the medicine, and that doesn't mean to like control it, but dominance means like make home of and to like be one together.
Because it is non-negotiable in a ways, but you do still have your sovereignty as an embodied being. So you do have a choice of how you interact with it.
Yeah. And that, when I did that, it was very exhausting. We did like the 2 cups, so it's about like an hour and a half, and then you do the second cup. And for that first hour and a half, I tried to stay like cross-legged, seating up, and in that meditation time. Mm-hmm. And there was moments where it felt like there was like energy like blasting out of the top of my head, and I could feel it like in my veins and stuff. And like it felt like there was like energy irradiating off of me. And then when we went up for a second cup, I did second cup, and then I just laid down because I was like, that was too much. Like I'm exhausted after that.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Great experience.
Is that what the mushroom is for? Are you into psychedelics?
I'm into psychedelics.
Yeah.
They've been a great proponent to opening up and working through trauma as well. PTSD, things like that. Yeah.
And when you like practice like your meditation, is this an everyday thing?
Mm-hmm. Meditation, yes.
What do you do? Like an hour, 2 hours?
I kind of break it up. Sometimes it doesn't take me very long. So if I only need about 15 or 20 minutes, then that's as long as I take.
And you're doing it guided or?
No. At this point, no. I did begin guided, and that was a really big helper to find the right voices with the right.
Well, it's crazy because I'll do like John Kabat-Zinn guided, and for me, he's like him and Thich Nhat Hanh, but John Kabat-Zinn, for some reason, like I can do like a 6-minute one that's online, and it like gets me to where I need to go.
It's so important.
Yeah, so like comfort in that, but so when you're doing it alone and it's just you, your thoughts, whatever, how does it get to a place where you have an experience or you have these like like how does that happen? Is that because that's not the intention, right? The intention is just to be with your like.
My intention is to stay within my body because I've chosen to come into a body in the first place. My whole goal is to work through this vehicle.
Yeah.
So using the vehicle and it's in its clarified and well-intended state, it can help you transcend out of the body for little moments if you need it. Usually I'll use meditation too. If I'm looking for guidance, I'll just say, to my specific group that I connect with, I'll often approach them with an intention. Is there anything that I need from you today? Or if the higher realms, the archangel realms, is there anything that I need directly from you today, from a higher source of purified wisdom that will help me in this time of my life? And usually comes right in.
Really?
Wow, that's cool as hell.
And what do you think? So obviously being spiritual, it's not God, but there is something. Like, what is it to you?
It depends. Sometimes God is, it's the ultimate, when you ask that source, you're going to get it.
Yeah.
But it's so loving. Sometimes it's not what you want to hear. And I like that. So the sources that I ask are a few steps below that ultimate because I like a very cultivated, personalized experience. And I know that my particular guidance that I work through, that I've gotten to know over the last 8 or 9 years, have been very cultivated and very purified for my direct communicative experience.
And you think like that's what kind of aliens technically are, is that it is whatever people think God is, it could be that?
I think that the old school perception of having interactions with the quote Lord, I think that oftentimes terms through history get misinterpreted. Maybe, there was a Lord as a term of hierarchy or loving endearment to an interdimensional being, a being of light. But if they have to appear here in the third dimension, they must take up the photonic body. So they must be in photon. They must be visible.
Yeah.
So everything here has to be embodied in light for us to be able to see it. And they'd see these, quote, chariots of fire coming down from the, quote, heavens or the firmament or something. They're coming out of these. How, if we didn't have the language, how would we describe it?
Right.
If we didn't have cars or rockets or jet fuel or SpaceX, we would describe it as a chariot of fire.
Yeah, like there's that whole there's a documentary about a guy who thinks that Jesus in the Bible is actually mushrooms. That he's like it was people's experience, like their experience
the
with
burning
Jesus.
bush.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
it was like they were having like these intense hallucinations and like spiritual experiences from taking hallucinogenic mushrooms.
I've heard that too, and I've heard that Jesus' experience, that for those who knew him and were able to write about his physical presence, were very much in the kind of like in between, that maybe he was some kind of an ascended master using the human experience to come down and teach and to put a splinter in the human timeline. Others have said that it's a whole personification for the hero's journey.
Yeah. And when it comes to like the alien stuff, have you know about like Bob Lazar and like his whole stuff with like the gravity reactor and stuff?
Yeah.
That stuff's crazy because
It's amazing, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's
it
something
is.
we have to look forward to, I think, in our future. If the evolutionary suppression system would just stop it.
Have you ever tried to go to like
Well-
Area 51 or anything?
No. Because I value my bodily experience. I'm
Right.
only going to get so much done so long as I have a functional, effectual body. And if anything happens to that body because I try to trespass, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm being monitored constantly.
You.
Yes. So we all are
Oh,
to an
oh,
extent.
yeah.
We all
Oh,
are to
yeah,
an
yeah,
extent.
right, right.
But if I were to cross any particular lines, it would, could possibly interrupt my journey here.
Yeah.
Right,
And when
right.
when you said the evolutionary suppressive system, what does you mean by that?
Well, I mean, look at what's in the food.
Oh, okay, yeah. You mean like how they're like messing around with our ability to like be healthy
And just live normal and to evolve at a normal expected pace for the
Yeah.
race. We were picking up speed and our trajectory was, exponentially kind of picking up a lot of pace. And then suddenly we had a wrench in the system. It was a paradigm.
Well,
Okay.
even stuff like I went for a walk with Alexis Fox a couple months ago in Austin, and I was like talking about, I'm like, you don't burn ever because we're out in the sun. Because I was like, and she's like, no, suntan lotion's so bad for it's like if you see how skin cancers have happened,
Yeah,
it's the
it's-
implement of that.
they didn't have before people were going out in the sun and they were
Yeah.
perfectly fine.
You just cover your head.
Yeah. And I've been working on a bit about how we need like so much more willpower to be able to operate right now.
Yeah.
Like people are like, don't watch porn. I'm like, it's in my pocket. Are you serious? Like
It's hard.
it's everywhere. Like it's like every like sort of temptation is there constantly.
No,
like
materialism. We're immersed in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How do you find that as someone who is obviously an adult entertainer? I love it, but how do you feel like it's because you are a spiritual person? How do you combine the two? Where it's like for you, it's like okay, this is okay. Because again, I'm cool with it. I don't think porn is bad. Obviously, I in fact love it. But
there's a lot of outside judgments, of course.
Yeah.
There is, of course, understandably so. Because
And
a
as
lot
someone
of
who's
the-
super spiritual, like who's
Yeah.
like probably anti on the phone all the time, kind
I'm
of.
here to be a dichotomy.
Yeah.
So I want to put a wrench in a lot of people's narratives because that's more fun to do that. So I consider it like this. I participate to the media, and
Yes.
I've never crossed a boundary in my media that I would find degrading or oppressive to my own bodily experience. I've signed off on everything I've done, and I've done it with a full, conscious, uninhibited awareness of what I've been doing. But like anything else, moderation is key. If you drink too much water, you can drown internally.
Right,
Yeah.
you're right.
So you kind of have to be the judger of your own experience. You have to kind of, okay, well, how much have I consumed? Is this distracting me from why I'm here and what I really love?
Yeah.
Because I can scroll on Instagram for an hour and it feels like no time at all's gone by.
Yeah, I'll doom scroll 3 things and I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm
you
having-
got
it.
yeah, it's exhausting.
And your nervous system really is affected by it. So you have to take stock of where your body is when you begin to watch any type of media.
Yeah.
But sex and violence are so heavily propagated on the internet.
Yeah. So the violence thing is so fucking.
So that
Twitter's
alone is,
crazy.
I mean, if your stomach turns when you're watching it, check in with yourself.
Yeah.
If it's distracting you from your daily to-dos, taking care of your primary relationships and your compassionate in-person experiences, then it's taking away from you.
Do you still do a lot of scenes and stuff?
Not as many with others. No, I've got a management team aiding me in my, narrowing my content down to solo stuff. So
Is that by choice?
Yeah. It's
Why-
been really nice.
Yeah, you prefer that?
I've always really wanted to fully pursue the spiritual stuff, and appearing in most of my videos solo now has kind of allowed me to do that because I'm not empathing somebody else's nervous system when I'm in their presence.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Being on set with somebody else's body and being extremely empathic is like, ooh, I gotta take off from set and do this whole little ritual cleansing thing to just remove myself from their tensions, anxieties.
Oh, really? So you could feel it?
Oh, yeah.
Really? What do you think
Yeah.
it is like? I mean, to be honest with you, hearing you talk, I was like, if I was a male performer or a female performer, I was like, man, I would love to do a scene with you. Oh,
And a lot of them do.
Oh,
They're
for
very
sure.
excited and intrigued about it until they get into the actual, moment. It does often take a very, for a man, because they have a physiological harder job, it takes a very confident awareness to be in my presence and be sexual with me.
really? What do you think that is? Like, you think guys, when they're in your presence, it's more difficult for them to get erections? Is that
I think it's quite a challenge. It's been a challenge on many sets. with a lot
really?
of-
What do you think that is?
I think it's the awareness of that I'm looking at them fully,
Yeah.
and being seen is difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Being seen with compassion is even more difficult.
So you're like going beyond than just this is a performance. This is like.
Often it did end up becoming a little bit more difficult because as my awareness grew and my compassion grew for people, not my empathy, but my compassion grew for people, people didn't often like that. It made them very uncomfortable.
Really interesting.
Being more compassionate made people feel weird.
I think so. I think in that setting, yeah, because everybody's kind of existing through the external shell of how they're believed they're being perceived.
Yeah.
I think that's most of us most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But in that heightened state or setting, a set and setting, is everything.
Yeah,
it's the
yeah.
opposite of a spiritual experience being on a porn set in general.
Yeah. One thing I really wanted to ask you was about
This is wild, by the way.
Yeah, this is so interesting. Do you have like opinions on what happens after you die? Because I brought up Bob Lazar.
So I've been doing mediumship for about 6 years.
So say that
okay.
again. Sorry, I didn't hear that.
I've been doing mediumship for about 6 years.
What is that?
I've been reading for those who have made it out of body, transitioned out of body.
So people who went from from
Like Ouija board type stuff,
In
like
the
talking
living
to the other.
to not having a body anymore.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I've just been doing it kind of part-time. It started as like a little bit of a party trick when I began tarot. I began tarot, and I was at a just before COVID, and I was sitting there with this young woman, and I don't know, I was doing her cards, and I was like, "Did you just lose somebody, a male about your age, tall?" And I explained his haircut and his stance and his mannerisms and everything. And she starts crying hysterically, and she's. This is actually not long after I got back from Sedona. She, my best friend, just 2 days ago, passed in a car accident. I was explaining how he was having trouble breathing, and he was making this, very distinct posturing. And she said he died of a punctured lung.
Oh my God.
So at that point, I was like, okay, well, I'm getting something. Something's coming through. So I just listened, and now I kind of have a step-by-step process by which I go through. If I'm going to do a reading for somebody, I prepare in advance. Sometimes if it's someone through a dear friend of mine that I know intimately, their loved one will just drop right in because they know that I'm going to text them, "Hey, your pop came through," or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's been it's been a fun process to ask them questions and to get answers. And I hope they're telling me the truth, but everything they're telling me about the way they lived in their physical experience to their loved one who I don't know, who can confirm, they're all accurate.
Yeah. Because someone brought up the soul farm theory that's what our existence is, and it's terrified me that we're like the human race was like put here to be like souls to get eaten after we die, and I didn't stop thinking
That's
about
interesting.
it. Yeah,
I mean, I think if it's fear based, I don't really think that's the nature of things.
Okay, that's good.
What do you
That
think? So what do you?
calms me.
Yeah, what do you think it is from encountering the living to the? How did you explain that? It was the in-body to outer-body experience?
I think from what it's different depending on the individuated awareness. Some have explained it to me as it was very abrupt and scary for a minute because they didn't understand what their body was doing.
Right. And you mean the communication with...
I guess whoever's made their transition out of body and they're on the other side or their side, the afterlife experience, if they're just there, they're saying, well, here's what it was like when I was in my body. And then suddenly I was just drawn out real gently and calmly and it felt okay. And some are a quick shift and then it takes them a minute to orient themselves because they can distinctly see that their physical mechanism, although they feel embodied, they feel I'm here, but my body's over there. So I think it's very different for each.
And you think that's
person.
like eternity? You're just out of body? Like what?
No, I think that from what I have experienced, it seems like there's a cadre of individuals who are kind of helping team up to kind of decide, well, what do you want to experience? What do you want to learn?
Oh, okay.
And so you have like a reincarnation process or something?
Kinda, yeah. Like, do you want to come back and what do you want to, take a little time to rest? If you've had a difficult human experience, do you want to take a little time to rest and revisit your goals and things like that before you're reborn? And how do you wish to be reborn?
Yeah.
I mean, it is crazy. It's like that Alan Watts thing where he talks about death, fear of death. He's like, but what was it like before you were born?
And why aren't there any infants terribly, deathly afraid of being born?
Yeah.
But we're not. We rush into the body. We're so excited to get it done. We can't wait to jump in.
Yeah.
Even to these terrible families and these very challenging bodily experiences, we are elated to come in and have a variety of experiences.
Yeah, it makes me calm. That's honestly something I do to calm myself sometimes, is knowing that I'm going to die. Because you have that, I think.
Isn't that nice?
It is nice, actually, because you get stress. I think the stress for me a lot of times comes from the unknown, what's going to happen. And it's like, well, I don't know, we're flying out here, we're coming here to do the podcast. What if the lights aren't working or the camera breaks? And it's not a one-to-one, but I know that no matter what happens here, I will die. And that kind of gives me a calmness of like, oh, well, it's like, it's
all right.
It's all right. There's not so much you can do. It's like that, those maze games where you have different starting points. It's like, see which one goes to a middle. It's like, there's all these different starting points, but they all go to one point.
They all end up at the,
no matter what your journey was.
That is comfortable.
Yeah. It's very relaxing. Yeah. And you also, this is probably maybe a little silly or a little fun. You're a Bigfoot person as well?
Foot fetish?
Bigfoot.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry, my brain goes elsewhere.
No, we're in both worlds here. We're floating around.
I have not had a lot of connection with Bigfoot. It's very interesting, and I've been reading about it since I was a child. I was the kid by first grade, the book fair. Remember the book fair?
Oh, yeah.
UFO books, Bigfoot books, Mothman, anything I get my hands on that was not just Susie went to the mailbox.
Right. Yeah.
This has all bored me to death since day one.
Yeah. So you from the time you were a little kid, you wanted something that was like maybe a little bit more.
Something more.
Yeah.
The physical experience.
I agree with you. So much of the regular stuff is I guess that's why we do comedy and you do you're in adult entertainment.
I want to push the boundaries of the physical experience. Then I got bored with it. I found its limit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you wanted to be a military sniper at one point.
I wanted to be a sniper. That's my first goal, my first career choice.
You went to military school? Or?
No, I didn't. I found out they didn't accept women.
Oh, really?
Sniper school. And so I was very disappointed. So then my next career choice was I wanted to be a criminal psychologist and go prison to prison.
Yeah.
And then
kind
I
of
found
like
out
the Mind Hunter guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The science of evil has been always very interesting to me as to why that happens and at what what pivotal point in the evolution of a being turns it to malevolent intentions?
Yeah, what do you think about that? Then someone like when you watch Mindhunter about you saw
Mindhunter, so good.
Yeah, it was so good about, for those who don't know, it was about the FBI profiling, how it became into fruition, right? Like, what do you think about that? Then when they interview certain people, what do you think it is when someone's brain turns like that?
It's so subjective.
Yeah.
It's like, why do I look like this and act like this and choose the things that I choose and you guys don't? It comes from even the vibrational printing that the imprinting vibrationally and thought and consciousness wise of the body that impregnated and carried us to term. The expectations of the pregnancy, now they've found, shape the outcome of that individual's perception of self.
Yeah,
Right.
There's like that. What's that? Generational trauma. Like
Yes.
if your parents experience stuff, and there's like trauma in your like bloodline, it can like go down
There's
into
fear
you.
during the pregnancy experience.
Well, you want
by
to
the womb.
one of the things they says a mother who's pregnant, who's like participating in being promiscuous or infidel or whatever it is more likely the son is going to turn out gay. There's something like that.
Really?
Yeah. So it's a weird thing like that. That also in terms of the gay stuff, the more boys you have as the percentage of the second to third gets more likely to become gay.
Oh, like the further, like, so if you're like the sixth brother, you have a higher percentage
it's like
to be gay.
100%. You're like a power bottom. Yeah.
That's interesting how that dynamic of divine feminine, divine masculine will balance itself.
Yeah.
Oh,
Somehow
that's
in a
what it
family line.
is. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's what it feels like to me. Because there's always an outlier. There's an outlier in every family. Sometimes there's two or three in larger families with more children.
Three right here.
There has to be.
Yeah.
There has to be a breaking of a cycle. If the eldest child always gets the brunt of the trauma.
Right.
We know that. So I think that it takes sometimes a few. And you ever notice how genetics will either, mix, dilute, and shift, especially if you have two parents of contrasting, physical definitions. You'll see that the mixing of the children is so interesting along the line if they have many children.
Yeah.
I think that obviously it connotates that there's something going on mentally and emotionally too, that there's something very different. And, maybe we're not all just material reductionist bullshit.
Yeah. Well, there's that. What's that? The double slit experiment. That's the famous one that shows that.
That's the only thing that matters.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
The double slit experiment.
It comes down to that
Yeah.
because expectation and intention and consciousness precedes material always.
Yeah.
What about these
Always.
sluts?
Oh, so it's so it's an
A double slit experience.
Yes.
Slut, not slut.
Slit.
slit. Yes.
Slit.
Oh, I kept
thought-
on hearing slut. I'm like,
Double slut experiment.
And then you're like, yeah. And I'm like, well, what is this?
The famous double slut experiment. No, they have like two slits in like a board or a piece of paper, and they fire like photons or neutrons, some sort of energy thing at it.
Okay.
And when they're observed, they came through in like waves or the other way around. And when they weren't observed, they came through in like dots. So
Oh, really?
if you were watching it, it changed how it reacted.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like on a molecular level, being conscious of something or paying attention
So
to
kind of
something.
like a nature nurture kind of weirdly thing.
Like
yeah.
manifestation
That's why they do
kinda.
blind experiments.
Yeah.
Because if you're watching it, they know factually your expectation or watching it, no matter what scientist or not, you can't truly be objective. You're always
Right.
like, something's going to happen that I know,
Yeah.
So
Well,
Well,
the placebo effect is crazy.
It's
like,
incredible.
Like what they
Yeah.
have people, there was that famous one for knees. There was like a doctor was trying to figure out what fixed knee surgeries for elderly people.
Mm-hmm.
They had a specific one where they would like fix the cartilage and like rinse out some fluid. And so he had a bunch of people, old elderly people, knee problems, do this surgery. Some just got cartilage, some just got fluid, some got both. And then there was a control that got nothing. But the control that got nothing got a mock surgery where they put like a surgery up on a screen and they thought they were actually getting surgery. And their knees improved as good or better than the people who got surgery.
yes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And that's what it all comes down to. We're being narrated to that if you witness it, that no, that thing, though, that's a problem over there. We're going to have to address it this way.
Yeah.
We're going to squash it down. And it's like, That's why I love Abraham Hicks. You guys listening?
No,
to him?
who's Abraham Hicks?
Amazing. Awesome. But it just kind of reframes the way expectation and intention and how energy can precede just about literally anything you can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
But if you give your attention to it, you're going to get more of it.
So who is Abraham? It's who is
Esther Hicks is Esther and the late Jerry Hicks was her husband. So they began in the 80s. I want to say 1985. She began channeling of collective consciousness that referred to itself as Abraham, I guess, in meditation. Now she travels the world, has written multitude of books, and it's been really amazing and helpful to a lot of people.
Yeah, this is. I think a lot of people watching this are probably fascinated. Like, this is, a lot of people. I find it interesting because when a lot of people know us as comics, you as a porn star, but then you're like, oh, there's more to that. Like, for instance, like I personally just watch planes take off and land, and and I never talk about it except like at moments like this. But
like on YouTube?
Yeah.
No, his algo is crazy. You look at his explore page on Instagram.
Think it would be,
you think he has full blown autism.
Why do you like?
Doesn't matter. You like it, right?
No, but that's my whole point. Is that people don't know that.
No,
like,
you would think
You'll
it's
never
purely tits and hot guys, and it is just planes.
Just planes,
Nice.
food, baseball. So going on to the question that Jay was, how did you get into the industry, and how did it evolve kind of from where you were to where it is now?
Ooh, kismet. Pure financial necessity.
Okay.
I can disconnect to my body. I don't have a lot of sexual experience, so let's.
How many
give this a
years
try.
ago, roughly?
I think my first was 2008.
Okay.
So it's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been. That's in terms of like all the people we meet, and especially now in the days of OnlyFans, that's like we were talking about yesterday. It's like a running back who's been in the league for 8 years. You've had a good career.
It's been a long time.
You like kind of almost, I guess you would say, legacy.
You're like a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
It's been really fun. I've had a great time. I've had very few experiences that I wouldn't repeat. Mm-hmm. Like, wouldn't do that again. Like, yucked out. In general, never been taken advantage of. Never had I've had some, plenty of jerks. We're a patriarchal society. It is, and it's the Wild West, little weird nugget industry that has not been as thoroughly properly balanced in a maintenance way.
No, like I
decades.
find if a porn star comes out and says like such and such is wrong in our industry, people are like, well, that's what you get because you do porn.
Exactly.
Like they're not like, oh, maybe we should have the same sort of like safety regulations as like if you're a plumber or whatever. Yeah, it's like which you should.
And I honestly, I think back, and there's been a lot of advocates to make it a safer industry. I've never been one of those advocates because I've always had a very subjective experience with what I know to expect. I know that I'm going to show up and have a really good day. It's going to be easy.
But you mean like kind of the crossover from, and we can edit this part out. We've actually never talked about. We've done probably like 40, but like the situation with like the Ron Jeremys, and I don't know what your situation with, but.
He's an interesting guy. He actually showed up one night. I was in a strip club in Ohio feature dancing, and he showed up randomly. Without announcement. Yeah, and kind of was like, hey, yeah. I'm
So
like, hey, see you later. I'm going to go do my job. I don't know you, I'm not going to be swooned by someone with a name.
Yeah.
So he was that guy that they said he was.
I had never had a personal moment where I was alone with him to chance it.
Yeah.
Even
Okay.
in public, I was surrounded by management, and I was, in situations where there was an opportunity for him to approach me. I'm also very not that way. I'm not receptive or submissive, or I'm not an opportunity for anybody. And I think that he very quickly perceived that in Ohio, that I was not anything that he was going to get anything out
Yeah,
of.
some people, they look at some people, again, it's like I don't know the whole situation, but I know guys who do like predatorial over situation, and people then, like you said,
It's a two-way interaction.
Yeah.
I've found it to be, and this is not to say that there are not victims. There are many.
Sure.
But I love the fact that I've had a very subjective experience where I've never attracted that, because I think that, and even it was such a surprise, because 2020 was a big catalyst year where the industry discovered and was like, hey, you're bad and you're bad and you're out of here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it was really cool. By that point, I had kind of stepped away, but seeing it happen was really like, all right, good job, industry. All right, take these guys out. But many of them were personal friends that I had never had an issue with.
Oh, really?
Give them rides
Okay.
home. They were never grabby
Right.
or touchy or the carrot dangling shit. Never happened to me. I never had that happen. I think it was, I'm a little, maybe sarcastic. Maybe I was a little bit more abrasive, but it never found me in my experience.
Yeah, and how you got started through a Craigslist ad? That was kind of like
I
your
did.
opening.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was really hard up for cash.
And you were out
was
here
like-
in Cali?
I was in Cali. I was working for a major chain bank, and they had a merger with another bank, and they cut all of our hours in half.
Oh, really? Okay.
And so actually that was when I really got in, and I got with an agency. Before that, I answered a Craigslist ad and was like, oh, all right, well, I got to make a couple $100. I got to have some
What was
money.
the ad? What was the ad for? Just
It was like girls doing a video something, and I showed up. I'm like, what is it? He's like, oh, it's a blowjob video. I'm like, all right, I haven't given a lot of those, so let's give it a try.
Really?
I don't care.
Oh my god! I
It's
gotta
this
put
weird
some ads out.
This episode's proudly sponsored by the most dangerous and clickable site on the internet, Jerkmate.
It's free to sign up. We're giving you $10 to Jerkmate. Real models, real moans. If you go on Jerkmate, you can see beautiful women, beautiful other things, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's tons of beautiful stuff on there.
It's beauty all around for a true gooner.
And guys, remember, making an account is totally free. No monthly fees, no nothing. Just make your account, browse through the models, spend your $10, do whatever you want.
Grab a little coconut oil.
A little coconut oil.
Dim the lights.
Maybe a candle?
And a little goon for you.
It's Gooner time.
Goon on Jerkmate, baby.
Hey Gooners, you can also catch us live in these cities. Skankfest, November 14th to 16th. Winnipeg, November 20th to 22nd. Charlotte, North Carolina, November 28th to 30th. Chicago, Illinois, December 5th to 6th. Albuquerque, New Mexico, December 12th to 13th. Phoenix, Arizona, February 19th. Get all your tickets through chaderena.com.
He also had, IDs and paperwork, and it was so like it was this weirdo, and it was a weird looking back. But
Do you ever think about all of those guys back then? Those guys who were running, because I used to work in the scam phone company, like these call
Yeah.
centers.
Oh, yeah.
And I try and think, these guys were running such shady
oh, it's a
operations.
mess. And I think
You show up 3 weeks
think a lot
later,
of
it's
them
like
are-
a different company.
Yeah.
I
But
think a
the
lot
sa-
of them are probably dead now.
Yeah.
Really?
Probably.
A lot of drugs, a lot of...
I think just choices in general and
Yeah.
thoughts about themselves. Your thoughts can kill you too.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you think cyclically enough, you're going to inward spiral yourself right back into non-physical. So I don't know. But yeah, I think about that like, oh man, I had a lot of interesting close calls. But
Yeah, a lot of close calls in life.
I felt pretty universally protected. I was like, oh, I got to figure my way out. And I'm on my own. I've always been very definitively on my own. So I've had to make some tough choices and been like, you know what, I'll figure it out.
Can you, while you're doing this, do you feel like you can date? If you don't want to talk about it, you don't
Sure.
have to, which I'm sure you're fine. But do you date and stuff, or
Yeah,
do you?
I've dated. Thought about getting married a little bit, but I just, the legal marriage aspect, I feel like it's its own
Yeah, it's a
conspiracy
scam.
theory.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a government scam
But,
for sure.
Yeah, dating's been interesting.
Because it takes probably a special guy
Yeah.
for
And
both.
there have been some special guys.
Really?
A lot of great character building experiences, and each one has been exactly what I've needed to attract to overcome something within myself. They've all been perfectly timed.
Really?
None that I'd end up with, and they're all wonderful in their own unique ways, but have been extremely important lessons.
Yeah, a buddy of mine, this was a while back, there was a girl who I was like kind of yes or no on.
Yeah.
And I was like just going to a friend for some advice on like what I should do about this girl that I was seeing. And he was like, well, it doesn't seem like you're like you want to stop seeing her. And he went, every girl who I've ever seen, either it was like a good experience or I learned something very important. Yeah.
So long as you can maintain that perspective about your experiences, you can just be an observer of them and a participant in them rather than a victim of anything.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that becomes an archetype, and then it becomes, you become a victimized ego.
Exactly.
As Matt Kahn says, I love that term. Matt Kahn is the best. That helped me kind of get out of my narrative, because it's all of what you tell yourself about how your experiences have unfolded and who do you want to be after that.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
attract the same thing. You keep telling yourself, I was the victim of it.
Yeah.
Yes,
You're gonna get
yeah. So, and this is actually interesting because I do a lot of, I'm a controlled mess. I have about 2 or 3 moments a day where I fucking lose my shit for a second, but then I'm like I can feel my body like get enraged and stuff like that. Do you ever have like kink in the hose where you're
So many.
You really?
Yeah,
Daily?
I grew up with a tremendous amount of suppressed emotions.
Okay.
And, be the good girl, be quiet, be silent, be seen, not heard. You don't have emotions or thoughts of your own that are valid in any way.
Yeah, right. That's what my stepdad used to say. Children should be
Yes.
seen and not heard.
It's a nauseating way to identify.
Right, because you then think that's the way you live.
And that's the way that you need to experience love as an adult, too. And so I've had to really work on transcending that and work on some outlets for extreme suppressed anger.
So you can feel like on a, because you obviously come across as someone who's spiritually intact.
Yeah,
someone
because
who's
I
working
know
on,
my
Sure,
darkness.
but you still
Yeah.
feel on a day-to-day basis that there are moments where you can unwind, like, like a momentary thing. Like, for example, today my credit card wasn't tapping, and so I could feel like the angst of the stress.
Little stuff like that has just dropped off for me.
Really?
Those little the little reactions that I used to have. Do you remember the old cartoons of Donald Duck fighting with the lawn chair or the picnic basket?
Yeah, of course.
That
yeah.
was my favorite character because every moment of my life used to be like that. I'm like this fucking thing,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
It was
dude. Yeah.
fighting
Dude,
with
all the
material
time.
objects, fighting with my circumstances, constantly at war with what was never at war with me.
Yeah.
And so
Right.
I needed to okay, I got to work on this.
How did you let go then?
It took a lot of drugs.
Oh.
Really? So
What
Took
kind of
a lot of
drugs?
psychedelics. Took a lot of psychedelics, but a lot of finding different authors that really resonated with me that had also already transcended that experience. Where I didn't want to be at war with material around me.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
if I know the double slit experiment,
Yeah.
and I know that that's valid, 100% valid.
Yeah, it is.
Then, yeah, it is. Then I should be able to manipulate and control circumstances, not even manipulate, but just predict and intend to participate in my experiences in
Yeah.
the near future or in the distant future within a controlled set of circumstances. And it's very predictable when you hit that certain, when you exist along a certain wavelength.
Yeah,
It gets a lot easier. It's real weird, but you find your balance somewhere in there, and then those things stop happening.
Yes, I believe that too.
Yeah.
I believe that things stop happening when you're like, kind of like almost the letting go.
And when they do happen, it's like, I wonder what's stopping me from taking money out of my credit card right now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Why?
I know
why
that
should I-
there's something here that's trying to keep me from getting money out at this moment. Maybe somebody's up there with a camera watching me input my PIN, or maybe there's
Interesting.
you always think that there's something here that's helping me, and whether I get pissed about it or not is not really
Yeah,
helpful.
yeah.
I'm just setting my nervous
Well, that's
system
why
up
I'm
for
fasting
failure.
right now, and I was trying to tap at Trader Joe's, and I
Yeah.
was like, I'm going to fast, and maybe
But
They were like,
you set
oh
your-
yeah.
you're supposed to fast.
If
Yeah.
your stronger intention earlier in the day was to fast, then everything about the universal mirror is mirroring back to you. Okay, we heard you. We're
Yeah.
going to make sure that you don't eat.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
stick to water only. We're going to help you out with that.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, when you've been fasting and you do finally eat that meal, you will have thanked yourself. Thank God I did that.
Oh, yeah.
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 Absolutely.
And okay, kind of off topic, but I did want to get this one in. You said one of your best skills, hand jobs and foot jobs.
Love them.
Yeah,
Really?
love them.
Okay, so I started doing mobility training.
Yeah.
Hip, foot, ankle, knee, because I'm going to be around for a really long time. So
Yeah.
I need my joints to perform optimally for as
Yeah.
long as they can. So And then I learned that I was hypermobile,
Yeah.
which was interesting, but helped me discover my body in new ways. But hand jobs, always love hand jobs.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, "Ooh, what do I do? And then they're like, oh, and so it's like, oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
It's just funny to do a little twist of the wrist or something, and then something new happens.
Yeah.
So it's like a game I always win. There's always going to be
I always
tickets,
win. I
no
mean,
matter
he's winning
what.
too, right?
I'm always gonna win.
Everyone's winning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's been fun, and foot jobs have been fun because it helps me develop my core strength and my hip mobility because the knees are out, right? But I've turned everything into a benefit for me.
Yeah.
I'm winning off this somehow. I'm going to develop something, whether it's patience, because hurry up and calm, you idiot,
Yeah.
or I need to work on my hip mobility because
Yeah.
doing like this for a long period of time is going to be very difficult for
They're
me.
going to introduce them to the next Pilates class. That's what they're going to do.
Ought to.
Open up your hips so you can give a nice foot
You
job.
store a lot of trauma in your hips too.
Maybe,
yeah.
maybe I should start doing foot jobs so
Yeah.
I can get hard again.
Do it on yourself, and you'll really be mobile.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the foot job. I never got into that. I'm not into feet.
Not into feet?
I like when a chick's wearing high heels and steps on my nuts. I kind of like that's hot. Like
Yeah.
if we're like sitting here and you had high heels, that'd be kind of hot, but not like in terms of to get off.
Do you like the stiletto and the urethra?
Not hard, but I do like the idea of it. We were
What,
at-
like putting something in your dick hole?
no, not in my
Sounding?
dick hole. No,
That's
no,
what
no,
you meant
so-
in the
sorry.
urethra.
Sorry, yeah. I thought I was visualing the taint area where.
Or that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I like when a chick has the high heels. I was so down. Have you ever been to
Like
Delilah?
a gentle press.
Gentle press, like a
Gotcha.
gas pedal. Have you ever been to Delilah?
No.
There's a restaurant. I think it's called Delilah. Is that what it is, Eric? Delilah?
I don't know.
Yeah. So there's like this bougie place, not too far from here. And when I first came to do a show here at the Hollywood Improv, I was touring with another guy, and afterwards we went to get drinks with it's just a friend, and his friend had another friend, this hot chick, and she was sitting in the booth, and our legs were underneath, and she had her foot on my sack, and she was wearing high heel, like the boots, the ones that come up there.
Yeah.
And I could just feel like I was hard as a rock, but I could feel so much pre-cum coming out of my dick as she was doing this. And it wasn't like painful. It was just like a push.
And that sticks.
That sticks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that
definitely
sticks. Yeah.
sticks.
Significant moments where it's like, I've never been here in these circumstances.
Yeah.
And this is going to stick with me.
Yeah, it was so hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had your thing with your boyfriend at SeaWorld, right? You guys hooked up on the tram
Oh,
at
that
SeaWorld?
was such a long time ago.
Really?
Yeah. Yes, we did. That was weird. But it was a great cream pie.
Oh, he finished in
yeah.
the tram?
Oh, yeah. Well,
Really?
it's, you're suspended. There aren't many people.
No, but that's a time thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the
Well,
time
when you're
pressure.
a teenager, you've got
This was when you were
Very
young.
young.
Oh, okay.
okay.
Very young.
Okay. Yeah. That's wild. Are you still doing the thing with the blockchain?
No, that was I figured I'd get my feet wet a little bit in that experience. with that
Blockchain, not
team.
crypto?
Yeah. It was a smart idea. Was that if you made like a piece of content, adult content, if someone sold it, you
It's
get
still there and it's still up.
Yeah.
We had some personal disagreements about the project and some other odd communicative things. So, but it's still up. I have a Telegram channel open now, but it's been pretty quiet. But all of the pass holders still have their things. It's just, I thought I would be a good test tube, so to speak, for the experience to see how does this go.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I'd love to take the concept that is mine solely and do something else with it because I thought it was a really good idea. But yeah, it was just a good little test run.
Yeah,
to see how it went. It was fun.
I feel like you've worked really hard to try and like better your life and the lives of the people around you.
Yeah,
as
to
much.
fulfill promises to my fans. Like I know that was an interesting. I appreciated that they were willing to go through that with me as I like tried it out.
Yeah, and are you pretty open with your fans about your like spirituality and like your stuff like that?
It's
Well, most, I think, guys would kind of see maybe.
Well, yeah, with the hand tattoos.
The
It does
and stuff.
tattoos,
helped
yeah.
me avoid a lot of conversations.
I saw you have the tattoo "We Are God" tattoo.
Yeah.
on your
Yeah, I
head.
noticed that too.
Yeah, that's that.
I love everything's got meaning. But it's very rarely brought up. It's the esoteric interests that I am most impassionate and emboldened by, it's a very, very tight circle. So
Right. And I'm sure even with
oftentimes-
guys when they have their dick in their hand.
That's not really a thought of theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, oh, I see hot tattoo.
Yeah.
Or I don't like your tattoos. You should get them removed as they sit there and jerk off.
Really? Guys do
Okay.
say that?
Crazy
Oh, for
work.
sure.
You
Those
have-
guys will say anything.
Do you have a lot of tattoos?
I have quite a few.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess there's
Everything
right
is, I mean,
Oh yeah, all the way up your
Everything
arm
so-
and everything.
yeah, I've got quite a few. I guess
Yeah.
it's kind of
now. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
more interesting for your viewers.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they do.
more
They're not going to be upset.
Viewers,
Yeah.
Just the viewers.
What's one that stands out to the most for you? What do you like has the most meaning of your tattoos?
One that I could explain most easily, would probably be my this is my grandmother's favorite seashell. She's the greatest influence in my life. She's Buddhist, and the mushrooms, of course, coming out of this seashell, as she
Yeah.
was kind of the root of a lot of my holistically encouraged awakening experiences, and
Yeah.
the Vesica Pisces behind it. So I've tried to kind of balance them as best I can. I've got so many, and they all mean so much to me. I'm putting things in my divine feminine side that help structure and kind of organize things a little bit, because it can be a little bit whirly over there, and then my divine masculine side kind of allowing a little bit more free form, things like that, because I've lived very much in my overt masculine archetype for most of my life.
What do you mean by like that? Like just how you've
Control, rigidity, structure, predictability, mostly suppressed anger.
Yeah.
And that's come out as, how I need to live my life within this set of structures.
Yeah.
And I'm Virgo too, so that kind of helps shape things a little bit.
What's because you've brought up this anger a couple times. What's
Yeah.
the root of this anger for you?
Suppressed emotions, not being able to have any sort of sovereign identity through the formative years of my upbringing, and being raised in a house with parents with NPD,
What's NPD?
narcissistic personality disorder.
Oh yeah, I know a couple parents who got that too.
Yeah. Well, they say that that said, go back to the Tim Dillon rant. They like the boomers were really the first.
Challenging.
Yeah, the first generation of. That's what Tim Dillon went on this amazing rant about boomers. He's like the first parents to ever not want to see their kids do better than them.
Yeah.
And
It's
There
a
is a
scary world.
Yeah, it is crazy.
So I think that I'm 38, so I guess our generation, a little before, a little back, a little before, and a little after, we're all kind of healing from that unhelpful paradigm which we were brought up to believe ourselves to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you feel you go back to 2008 to 2000 now, or 2000 now, to now.
2000 now.
2000,
Yeah, that's
it
very
is
right.
2000 now. As I'm getting older, now I'm in my 40s, if I feel like it's better than ever. Do you feel that? Like,
Oh, no doubt.
yeah.
Yes. Every decade. There's only been 3 so far, but
Yeah.
unbelievable.
It is.
Every few years, I feel my self-identifiers really shifting and changing to those of more internal awareness rather than external identifiers, which I'm not a porn star. I'm not even a woman. I am not 38 years old. I haven't had these experiences. This is what my body has experienced and that I've been witness to as an awareness. But yeah, every fucking decade. Every
gets
few
better,
years,
yeah.
It's so much better. I can't wait. 40s, 50s. I'm trying to stay in body as long as I can. Don't want to be immortal, but I want to see this through. I don't know how long this is going to last, but I really want to be present for it as long as possible because it keeps getting better.
Yeah,
Do
it
you-
does keep getting better.
Do you
Yeah.
think that's on the table for some people? Immortality? Do you think people can actually embody that?
I think when we look at the king's lists of the past, where there were rulers, sitting in a seat of power for 25,000 years types of things, that's interesting to me. I think that our DNA structure was different. I think there's some kind of encoding that may have suppressed that. But, now we're looking at telomere lengthening and C60, C70, stuff like that that's going to help us
Oh,
stay
that's the
around
lobster
longer.
thing, right? That's the thing where they're pulling the telomeres from the lobsters?
No, that's the buckyball.
Oh.
Buckminster Fuller's work is interesting.
What was that? You said the Kings thing about the 14. What was that?
So there's these kings lists.
Kings
I
list,
want to
yes.
say Sumerian kings lists. And
Okay.
some Egyptian kings lists where there were individuals in power for thousands of years
That lived.
in physical bodies for
Really?
thousands of years.
So what ended up happening to them?
Well, that's a great question. I think I want to say these. See, and it's hard to tell. I think the deluge was interesting because I know it wiped a lot of things out, a lot of factual stuff. But over time, the powers that be have also swept under the rug a lot of the historical, factual information about human history. So we don't really know. I don't think we really know. I think that we're right on the precipice of maybe re-encountering the possibilities, but not with the food that we're eating, not with the water that we're given, and the water and the air and the the consciousness, really.
Yeah, we offered you a bottle of water when you got here, and you're like, I got my own.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, really? So you don't
Yeah.
drink? Now I do mostly glass
Yeah.
bottles, but you won't drink out of the plastic.
Do you have like your own filtration system and stuff?
In my home, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Really?
I remineralize and stuff.
Yeah.
As pure water as I can get. I mean, I've got a plastic container now, but my one in my car that I already chugged is stainless steel. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I
keeping
try
the
and do
vessels
that.
clean and
Yeah.
putting an intention into the water is really helpful too.
Do you talk into it?
I do. Yeah.
Wow,
I'll play
okay.
chimes and gongs into the.
Oh, really? Do you have
Yeah.
these drums?
I do. I have a large a gong from Nepal that I have in my meditation room, and I've got the sound bowls with each chakra, each respective note.
Yeah.
Okay. What intentions are you putting into your water?
Just whatever I'm feeling for the day. And
Yeah.
usually it's just, I love you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm grateful for you. I'm very appreciative of you, because the water holds consciousness. It holds structure. It can hold images too. Have you seen those experiments where began back in the 80s, and I forget the doctor, the researcher's name who developed it or who first discovered this, but it wasn't too long ago. Masimoto. Gosh, I
don't
hate
know.
that I don't
Lost on
remember
this
it.
one.
You'll love it though. It's such a fascinating subject. So now they're starting to repeat these experiments on the regular. You put an intention into the water. You freeze it on a slide to put under a microscope for a couple minutes, and you take it back out, and there's a picture formed in the water.
Oh, wow.
Phrases, words, images of faces and bears and angels and shapes and music. It's beautiful. It's really stunning.
wild.
The water holds the intention of the shape of the thought.
Yeah. Well, that's very cool.
So I think if I'm going to put it in my body, I'm going to.
You're gonna make sure,
kindly to it.
speak kindly to it. I gotta make sure that I'm not saying weird things into my water,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah. But yeah, this has been great.
Yeah,
Nicole.
so
Yeah.
interesting. Very,
Yeah.
very different than what I thought. I never know what's going on before I do no work, so I always come in blind.
It's fun.
Yeah, I didn't expect
I
this.
knew you were into some spiritual stuff and UFOs and stuff, but I didn't know how deep. That's
Yeah, this
definitely
is
for
deep.
Sure. Yeah.
It goes deeper.
But don't
Yeah.
you want it to be like that?
I do. I don't want it to end, because I know that there are wisdoms and truths that none of us will maybe ever be privy to. But I want to work there.
Yeah.
If I'm at this age and at this phase of my experiential wisdom, I want to kind of keep building onto that, see where it goes.
Do you because there's a whole other thing of like having relationships as a porn star, that part being difficult. But you obviously have views and perspectives of reality that are far outside of what people expect.
It makes it challenging to relate to a neurotypical.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess it makes it a little bit challenging to have any conversations that are not a house of weather.
Yeah.
How's
Right.
your dog doing?
Yeah.
Your car running okay?
Yeah.
For what it's worth, I could see myself dating you. So
Thank you. That's a huge honor. But I love my esoteric interests, and that's not going to waver dependent on the company that I'm in.
Yeah.
And if, in fact, it helps grow because I know my interests are so on the fringe of most people's, day-to-day considerations. So.
Oh, I would need that. Sometimes I'm like, I hang out with someone who like, it's always about like the work-life balance, all the standard.
And I can talk somebody through that, but at one point I'm like, unless you're going to enact what I suggest to you, unless you're coming to, I'm a Virgo. No matter what, if you come with me to a problem, I'm going to come with you how about this? How about this? Did you try this? Try this thing? How about this? I'm going to send you 10 books that you're all going to read and it's going to fix all of your problems. And people often don't want to find solutions because their identifiers are their difficulties.
Yeah, they just want to complain.
They just want to complain, man.
It's part of their identity, and it's hard for them to escape that.
Yeah.
And if they don't have the things that they commonly fight with, then they don't know who they are, and that's a challenge.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Well, Nicole, that is amazing.
Amazing. Yeah, absolutely amazing.
Into this camera, can you just say, I'm Nicole Aniston, you're watching Two Goons.
I'm Nicole Aniston. Hold on. Sorry.